Repair Clinic encourages you to perform this procedure safely. In this video, we will show one or more of these icons to alert you when to use caution. Most leaf blower repairs will require some disassembly of the product. Before you attempt this, make sure the engine has cooled and the on-off switch is in the off position. To access and remove the carburetor, first note the orientation of the fuel lines attached to the carburetor, then detach them. Be prepared for some fuel to spill. Now loosen the mounting screw to release the air filter cover and pull out the air filter. Use a T25 Torx bit screwdriver to unthread the carburetor mounting bolts. Separate the air filter housing and bolts from the carburetor. Detach the throttle cable from the linkage to fully remove the carburetor. Reinstall the carburetor by first attaching the throttle cable to the linkage. Confirm that the cable is aligned with the groove in the cable guide. With the filter housing aligned on the mounting bolts, slide the carburetor onto the bolts, followed by the intake manifold gasket. Now thread the bolts into the carburetor spacer and tighten to secure the assembly. Realign the air filter on the filter housing. Reposition the cover and tighten the screw to secure. Reattach the fuel lines to the appropriate ports on the carburetor. To remove the recoil starter, use the T25 Torx bit screwdriver to unthread the screws securing the fuel tank support plate. Pull the plate off. Then remove the top screws securing the recoil starter. Pull the starter free. To replace the starter rope, extend the rope if still intact and use a spring clamp to secure it. Untie the knot and slide off the handle. Remove the clamp and carefully release the tension on the spring. Use a Phillips-head screwdriver to remove the screw securing the starter pulley. Lift out the pulley and unwind the rope. You can use pliers to fully remove the old rope from the pulley. Install the new rope by inserting one end through the hole in the designated right side of the pulley. Tie a knot and seat the knot in the pulley. With the knot facing upward, wind the new rope counterclockwise around the pulley. Position the pulley in the starter housing and rotate counterclockwise until it hooks onto the spring. Continue to rotate the pulley approximately 1.5 turns. Then insert the rope through the hole in the housing. Hold the pulley in place as you thread and tighten the screw to secure. Use the spring clamp to secure the rope and slide on the handle. Tie a knot at the end of the rope to secure the handle. Remove the clamp and confirm that the rope moves freely. Reposition the starter on the engine housing. Rethread and tighten the screws at the top. Realign the support plate and secure it with the screws. To remove the engine cover, first detach the wire and boot from the spark plug. Use a 3/4 inch socket or a spark plug wrench to help loosen and remove the plug. Now use the T25 Torx bit screwdriver to unthread the mounting screws, securing the engine cover. Carefully detach the cover to access components like the muffler, throttle trigger and linkage, and the on-off switch. If you need to remove the engine assembly, first detach the blower tube, if still intact. Now unthread all of the screws securing the blower cover. With the screws removed, pull off the cover. Confirm that the piston is in the down position. Then insert a cord into the cylinder to prevent the piston from moving. Now rotate the blower wheel counterclockwise to unthread the fan hub. Detach the throttle linkage from the trigger and the throttle cable. Remove the trigger. Leaving the wires connected, detach the on-off switch from the handle. Use the T25 Torx bit screwdriver to unthread the screws, securing the engine assembly to the blower housing. With the screws unthreaded, you can fully remove the engine assembly. Reinstall the engine assembly by repositioning it in the blower housing. Rethread and tighten all of the mounting screws. Continue the reassembly by reseating the on-off switch in the handle, with the stop side facing the rear. Make sure the wires are inserted into the grooves on the handle. Realign the throttle trigger on the handle post. And make sure the spark plug wire is secured in the groove. Reconnect the hooked end of the throttle linkage to the cable. Confirm that the cable is aligned with the groove in the cable guide. Then attach the opposite end of the linkage to the throttle trigger. Realign the hub and blower wheel on the crankshaft and rotate the blower wheel clockwise until secure. Remove the cord from the cylinder. Make sure the blower tube lock is in place. Then reposition the blower cover. Thread and tighten all of the screws to secure. Reinstall the blower tube. Realign the engine cover. Replace the mounting screws to secure the cover. Rethread the spark plug. Be careful not to strip the threads by over-tightening. Attach the wire and boot to the plug. With the reassembly complete, turn the on-off switch to the on position, and your leaf blower should be ready for use.